All right, all right, all right. Trey 4711, the deuce and the nine. Hoover Hay to the coach enthusiasts, to the Hoover Knights, to the people, but most certainly to the Hoover Collective, man. Before we get started, I want to do one thing, man. We want under the group want to give our respects and condolences to Bird and his family. Hey man, rest well, baby. We love you and we're gonna miss you, man. It's a sad ending, man, but you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, and man, we hate the fact that you're gone, man. We love you. To Stacy Gilbert, man, rest well, home queen. Rest well, man. We love you, and also we will miss you. You are a mainstay in our lives, and most of our lives, I could say. You are auntie to a lot of us, big sis, mama, you all those things, man. So we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you, man. So to the family of Tiny Bird and Stacy Gilbert, man, our respects and condolences. Uh Also, man, our love and condolences to our home queen Vicky, man. She just passed away also, man. And again, man, this is another loss, man, to the community, man. A big loss, man. All three are a big loss to our community. We're gonna love and miss her as well. All right. Your passing, all of you guys passing is heartfelt. Um, for those of us who loved and respected you, again, man, we will miss you. You will be missed. To Dirty Bug and his family, man, congratulations on upcoming nuptials, man, of Dominique and Jasmine, the newborn Jacoby, and happy birthday to Samara, man. And congratulations on your accomplishing your graduations as an LVN, man. Continue the growth. Don't stop there. Go a little further, man. There's a lot more in that field in terms of skills and knowledge, man. LVN, I stop there, man. We're looking forward to you becoming, a doc, some type of PhD. Get a doctorate, man, in that field, man. That would be something that you could pass on to the ones coming up behind you, man. They're looking forward to that, and whether or not they know it, it's needed. And yo, disseminating that, your knowledge of what you learn and shit will be helpful to them in the coming years. So think about that. Um, Keep growing. All right. Keep growing and keep evolving. Just move forward. That's all I can say to that, man. So again, under the groove, man, we love you guys, man. Again, our love and respects to all those, man, we've lost. And it is a great loss. It's like words really can't compensate for that loss. We miss you guys, man. We're gonna miss you guys. So we love you. And to the family, again, our condolences. Um, I rushed getting here, man. I almost didn't come again, and again, it's that thing, procrastination, and not just procrastination, but we tend to make a lot of excuses for not doing the things we know we should do or need to do. I made it a point tonight to get here tonight, regardless of, my state of mind or whatever, situation I was in. I wanted to get here and be a part of the people, man. Let the people know that they're thought of and loved, man. And, not all that, but just share some communication, man, some back and forth. Um, I know it's NBA championship night tonight, but aside from that, to me, this is more important. So for those of you who can or are willing, put this on while you're watching the game, man. You know what I mean? And in between commercials, man, tap in, man. Leave your comments. This is something we need. This is something that we need. This is something that we need. I was just having a conversation with a couple of people. My homeboy Woody, his sister Nikki, man, we were talking tonight, and she didn't know that I was the host of Under the Groove. She knew me, she knew my history and whatnot, man, and we just got to talking and stuff, man. And the conversation, man, was how can you put it, man? It was a conversation, man, that was useful, that was fruitful. You know what I mean? We discussed some things, man, on a lot of different levels and a lot of different subjects, man. What we both agreed upon is that our people are in a situation that most of us don't, or most of our people don't realize we're in. Um, if you're looking at what's going on today, especially in Los Angeles, you'll see that Those people are at work, man. Those YT people are at work. They're getting rid of people. You know what I mean? They're coming, they're extracting them, they're deporting them, or whatever they're doing with them. Uh, that's one thing. But the thing I think for most of us, people with melanin, deep melanin, should understand is that once that's done, guess where they're going next? Guess who they're going to talk to next or get at next? You know, if you get rid of them people, you have to look at it like this. Then who's going to do the farming? And, you know, not necessarily pick the cotton, but you know what I mean? Who's going to pick the fruit and vegetables, man? Who y'all think going to do that? See, when they was talking about, in terms of the campaign, Donald Trump and them was talking about black jobs. Man, that's what they was talking about, man. That's what they're talking about. You know, they took it upon themselves to think that those were black jobs. You know, pick the fruit and vegetables, man. You know, grab the almonds and shit and all that shit that, you know, up and down California, man, or any other state, Louisiana, Virginia, wherever they do this, you know, this harvesting and, you know, this picking of crops. That's what he's talking about, people. And I can only speak for me and mine. We're not picking no cotton. We're not picking no vegetables, no fruits. I don't care how much you talking about paying us, you know. California minimum wage is about, I think, $14, $15, something like that. Man, you got to do 3 times that. Now, even if you did, I still wouldn't be in the field. You know, you had me doing no back-breaking work, man. You know, something that's, you know, in my mind, in a lot of others' minds is, you know, it's just beneath us, man. We did that. We did that. You can talk about $50, $60 an hour. Now, I wouldn't do it. I'm not doing it. And I'm pretty sure my family's not doing it. You know, so I don't know who they're going to get to replace these people that they're extracting, you know, from the agricultural sector, you know, to do this work, man. But hey, man, that's something to think about. Now, couple that with the fact that we're heading into summer, man. And you know, summer bring a lot of BS. You get hot, people start tripping, da da da. And you know, the people who run everything are thinking, okay, summer's here. First off, we're gonna lock a lot of people up. Don't think they're not thinking like that. That's how they're thinking. We're gonna lock a lot of people up for as long as we can. And we're doing it to send a message. You know, so for those who, you know, that not, you know, who don't get locked up or who miss that rapture, that sweet, man, so to speak, they're looking to you to do other things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're not gonna get you locked up. We're gonna put you in the field because, you know, that's the only other avenue, man, for us to survive and make, you know, to make the income we need to continue paying the bills that we need to pay. In terms of the job, that whole, you know, in terms of jobs, let's put it like this. Most of the jobs that we used to do are no longer available to us. Think about that. Be it clerical, be it industrial, commercial, whatever the case may be, man. We don't fill those slots anymore like we used to, you know? So for the most part, they're thinking that we're just out here, you know, and if we make it rough enough for them, they'll come to these fields and do the things we need them to do, you know, to keep this agricultural sector up and running. You know, California is kind of like a breadbasket, man, to a lot of other states and the world, so to speak. So if they're sitting up grabbing and sweeping, you know, this population of immigrants and sending them back where they came from, who's going to do the work? Who's going to do the work? I saw some shit the other night where white farmers in California were saying, California, Louisiana specifically, were saying, well, yeah, we understood that they were going to get rid of these illegals, but we also understood that in place of them, the black folks was coming back to work the fields. The white dude say, I ain't seen one black person come. And we need to get this done. Dude, you'll be waiting. You will be waiting. Look, man, let's really start thinking about what's going on in the world, man, in terms of our survival. Now, not in sense of, okay, well, I'm going to take master job, man, pay my rent, pay my mortgage, pay my car note, whatever the case may be. Man, don't be stupid, man. Don't be stupid, man. That's just a segue into getting us caught further into the system that they have designed for us. Fuck what you talking about. Excuse my French. Damn what you're talking about in terms of your dreams, your aspirations, and goals. That don't register to them. What registers is how they gonna keep their economy going. Everything that they do, man, they do for a reason, man. Don't think that they're doing this shit haphazardly, that they don't have a plan. They have a plan, man. They have a plan. When he came into office, he had a plan. He knew what he wanted to do. And he spoke on it. He said, man, they're taking black people's jobs. What jobs are you talking about, man? Y'all need to start thinking about that shit. Start thinking about that, man. Now, that said, there's another aspect of this get down, man, that we have to focus on and pay attention to. This shit, man, it works in so many ways. There's so many intersecting parts to this machine to make it run. We're talking about agriculture. That's just one aspect. They have other shit in place. Incarceration fits into that design, that get out, man. Like I said, they want to incarcerate as many of us as they can. That being said, man, look at it like this. They're going to find out a way, or they've already figured out a way to depopularize the melanin community, be it jail or death. One of the aspects they use most, I think, in terms of keeping us not focused, is through social media. They use social media, man, like nobody's business, man. They use it, man. They use it to their benefit, and they serious about it. Social media, man, is a detriment to us. And I say that because if you look at social media today, look at what's on there, man. Look at what brothers are talking about. And I don't mean, let me hold on. I can't say that, a lot of these brothers are brothers. You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know the faces behind this shit, man, or, the work put into these platforms who are behind this shit. We don't really know. But what we do know, or what we should know, is that it's not for us. It's rigged, or is generated against us. It's made and put out there to create more havoc, more chaos. Summertime is here, man. Already, man, the shit done started. Y'all got to understand how this shit really work, man. Now, that being said, to some extent, we have to take responsibility for the shit that those of us who we know have platforms were putting out content. We have to be responsible, man. We have to be responsible. We have to talk to the real. We have to talk to what's real in our communities, what affects us as a people. If we're putting out shit, man, that's messy, and it's creating shit, man, to where you're putting, inadvertently or advertently, bullseyes on backs of people or communities, man, that's working for the people, man. And it's clickbait, and I'm telling you, it's detrimental, man. We have to start thinking about responsibility in terms of the community, how we can better serve the community, how we can help ourselves, man. And not only that, but extract ourselves from, I don't know what to call this culture, because I don't think it's organic. I don't think this is our culture. I think that this culture that we're living in, man, is made up, man. It's being produced by those, man, who set up in think tanks and figure out ways to create dissension, to create, havoc and chaos, man, to keep us from being on point. Again, like I said, man, one of the main things that those who are in control, they think about and they try to keep in effect is keeping us out of the halls of power. How you do that? How you do that? You keep us distracted on BS, on shit that don't matter, man. It don't matter. Let's just think about that, man. Think about that. So the more the content is messy and detrimental or internecine, and internecine is, if it affects me, it affects you. Nobody wins. The more of that content that's put out there, man, the more harm is being done to our communities. We got to start seeing the big picture for what it is, people. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna stay on this page, man. How I get down, positivity, man, growth. Not just my community means something to me, Hoover. But communities, surrounding communities that surround Hoover mean something to me. Because if we get it and they don't get it, it's still a problem. You know what I mean? There's still a problem. We're encased in a situation where we might get it, but we got others surrounding us that don't get it. So we have to reach out, man, to those surrounding us, get them to the point to understand what's really going on, man. You brothers with these platforms, man, and y'all steady kicking out this clickbait stuff, man. Come on, man. And I'm not gonna go into no names. Normally, I don't go into names, and I kind of want to tonight, but I won't. I just want to say, man, be responsible. Be responsible, man. That stuff you putting out there, man, is gonna hurt brothers and sisters that look just like you, man. It's not gonna serve nobody. You might get some clicks. You get that clickbait. You get that little bit of money, that change they give you, because you meeting the algorithm. You fitting into the get down of the get down. But man, I'm telling you, man, on the whole, it's gonna hurt us, man. And not just us right now. It's gonna hurt those you love most, that's coming up behind you, those that you're supposed to be lacing, training, teaching, getting ready for society. Shit is real, man. All right? We got to start thinking about that shit, man. I'm telling you, we got to start thinking about that shit, man. And I say that because ain't nobody else going to think about it for us. What they're thinking about ain't got nothing to do with our well-being. Nothing. Nothing, man. That's real spit. So, let's get into that. Let's talk about that, man. If you guys don't mind, let's discuss that, man. Let's get to the point where we start communicating. Let's reach out to individuals, see, because all of us know somebody from somewhere else, and they know somebody from somewhere else, man. We're all connected. No matter what we tend to think about each other and ourselves, we all know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. We're connected, man. I get the whole tribalism. I get it. I was a part of that. I understand that. But to acknowledge that, to acknowledge that tribalism is one thing, but it's another when tribalism is like I said, detrimental, not just to the tribe, but other tribes, is another. We have to start discussing, how do we help ourselves and others, man? Like I said, we don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. When they come getting all these, illegals and shit, after they come get these so-called illegals, they're going to go after the other ones who think they're illegal, have homes and businesses in their names and shit. They come to get them too. Trust that. They're coming to get them too. When they're done with them, they're coming to get us. We have something in our favor, man. We've been here. We've been here, man. Not only have we been here, we built this shit, man. We built it. Our blood, our sweat, our being, being made less than others, being told we're inferior. However, we built this shit. So I'm saying that to say, man, let's get ready, man. We need to start getting ready. The summer shouldn't be prepared for, we shouldn't be getting ready for the summer to witness all this BS that could be coming down the pipes at us. We should be preparing the summer and everything after that, man, in terms of building ourselves up, man. 2026, 2027, 2028, you know? Let's work towards growth, man, prosperity. That's all I'm saying, man. You know, for every set, every community, man, look, every set, every community has an opportunity to grow, to prosper, to prosper. That's the message, man. Prospering, man. We don't prosper if we hurting each other and hurting ourselves, man. There's no prosperity in that, man. Trust me. Trust me, man. I don't care what cats say, man, or what these people put out there, man. There's no prosperity in harming those who look just like you or those around you or yourself. You will not prosper from that shit. It might look good initially, but trust me, man, it's all a game. They're gonna come take that from you too. Because you're not linked up, you're not connected, you're not in this motion of this get out, man, where there's unity, you know, where there's unity and you're building, man, as a people, as a group, you know. Lot been in the news lately, man. We got brothers, man, with the funnies, all kind of shit, man. All kind of shit, man, from the county jail back to the streets, man. Again, it's all a part of this get down, man, that's detrimental to us, man. It's nowhere in the world grown men should be sitting up trying to glorify homosexual activity. Real shit, man. Real shit. For any set that'll allow that type of get down, man, you're a part of doing your set, your community a disservice, man. That individual is doing your community a disservice, man. It's creating a precedent, man. That's not gonna be good for us, man. You know, one bad turn deserves another. You know, as the saying go. You dudes got to start thinking, man. You dudes have to start thinking, man, in terms of, you know, how to better ourselves, man, how to better our communities, you know, shit that's going on, man. I'm telling you, it's not just foul, man. It's just, it's so beyond disrespectful, man. You know, that type of, you're not supposed to even be here after the fact. Real shit. Real shit. And to glorify that type of behavior, man. Man, what you made of, man? What you made of? What your community made of? Where you from, man? If you with that, man, ain't got no business being here, homie. It should be deleted. You know, this shit is unacceptable in all forms and fashions. All right. I just had to say that, man. I'm gonna get on to what I get on to normally, man. Like I say, man, this is Under the Groove, and we're touching bases with the people again, man. Our love and condolences to Tiny Bird and his family, man. To Stacy Gilbert and her family, man. To Vicky and her family, man. And a shout out, man, to Dirty Bug and his family, man. Congratulations, you know, Samara, on your birthday and your graduation, man. You know, Dominique and your woman, man. Hey, congratulations on the newborn and the nuptials, man. Up and coming. I mean, push forward, do the right thing, do what's positive, man, for you and your family. All right. Who we got here, man? Door number 2, H-Town on the check in ACG. All right, y'all. All right. Clay Bombay, Stacy, love you. We all love Stacy, man. She's gonna be missed. Like I said, man, Stacy was a mainstay on the set, you know. Stacy, man, wherever Stacy was, the community was. You know what I mean? That's how much she loved the community, man. What was hers was ours, you know. And like I said, I told a story a couple of weeks about Stacy, man. Stacy, you know, she wasn't necessarily the photographer, but Stacy had all the pictures. And her thing was, hey, man, I'll make sure I keep these pictures, you know, this, that, and the third. And she wouldn't let nobody get hold of them pictures, including myself and others. You know, and I swear I tried everything I could to get a box of pictures from Stacy. Never happened. Never happened. Strong sister, man. We're gonna miss you, home queen. Real spit. Lorenz since the consultant HIP to Stacy and Baby Bird to all the loved ones lost, for sure, bro. For sure, bro. Miss Fantastic, what's up with you, homie? Come on in there, man, with a comment, man. Give us something profound, man. Let's have a discussion, man. I got about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, man. Let's talk about it, man. All right. Everything is everything with me, man. I try to stay on point, man. But like the rest of y'all, man, life is a struggle, homie. Life is real. It's real, man. And to some extent, to most of it, man, is what we make it. You know, we have to be the captains of this ship, man. We got to navigate the ship, man, just to stay on top of the water, man. You know, so what's happening with me is, man, I'm trying to navigate through these oceans, man. I'm trying to stay afloat. You know, that's the truth, homie. I'm gonna keep I ain't gonna hit you with no bullshit. I'm telling you 100. I'm trying to keep my shit afloat, because every day it's a struggle, bro. Every day. And that, like, again, that's just, I'm talking about living life, homie. I ain't talking about nothing else, man. Just living life, man. And I'm sure that's something we all can attest to, agree with, man. The Sensesti consultant said procrastination is a thief. That's what it is, man. I was talking to Joe about that. I was telling him, I remember back in the day, now I'm talking about back in the day like it was so long ago. I was doing a life sentence, man. And it was so much, man, on my plate. I knew my objective. I wanted to get out of prison. So that was my focus. Now, everything else, I would put it on the back burner. I'll throw it to the back burner quick, because if it have to do with the parole board and, me getting all, building this file of what my accomplishments have been in the last few years, 6 years, 10 years, it didn't matter. Lo and behold, that shit came to the forefront. Like, damn, I forgot about that. I procrastinated. Now, what was initially in the beginning a small thing, because I put it on the back burner and forgot about it. When I came back to it, it was huge. It was this huge thing. It was something I had to deal with now. So everything I thought was my main objective had to be, again, here we go. I had to put that to the side to deal with this problem now. Procrastination is a thief. It's a thief of time. It's a thief of time, man. It takes, not just time, but a whole lot of other issues, man. It steals from us, man. But time is the main thing. We don't deal with it now, man. In time, you're going to find out, damn, I should have dealt with that. Here it is now. I got to deal with it. And it might be a bigger problem than it was when you first understood that, it was some small shit. Now it's going to take a lot more time from you just to deal with that. Other shit now get put on the back burner. Byron Henderson, I miss Baby Bubbles, man. Hope his status is good. He was a low. Yeah. I hear you, homie. I don't know nothing about young yeah. Man, he's all right, man. Let's put it like that. He's all right, man. Again, man, life is a struggle. I mean, like most of us, man, ain't nobody exempt from that. He's going through it as well. You know what I mean? I talked to him today. I seen him today, man, and we hollered for a little bit. He's he's in this fight, man. Get his life right. Get shit, to the point where, he can do better, not just for himself, man, but for his son, his family, you know what I mean? Because, we're all connected. You know what I mean? If you're not doing good, then we're not doing good. You know what I'm saying? If we're not doing good, you're not doing good. We're all connected. But Baby Bub, he all right, man, as a matter of fact. Yeah, just right quick, people, like, share, and comment, man. Not only that, but subscribe, man, to the live, man. Subscribe to the live, man. Let's make it happen, people. Larray Sense says, a game over, bub. I don't know. See, I ain't throwing in the towel. Oh, okay, the basketball game? Okay, then people should be tapping in. Because I thought you talking game over. That's how bad we're doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I was about to say, no, I don't think so. But yeah, man, sometimes I'm talking about the game of life, our community. Sometimes, man, when we see shit happening in the community, we're like, man, it's so fucked up. It's all bad. Da, 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 da. A lot of homies, homegirls be like, I ain't fucking with that. It's all bad. Game ain't never over, man. You know, basketball game over. But this game of life, man, especially concerning our community, man, it's never over, man. We're in this shit to win this shit, man. Ain't no folding, ain't no tossing in the towel. We're gonna stay the course. But I hear you loud and clear, Larissa, saying, game is over. I don't know who won the game. I'm not into the NBA as I used to be, man. I used to love the NBA because I used to play a lot of basketball, man. I think I should have been in the NBA or the NFL, man. But there were other things, man. I think just the way my life went, it wasn't meant to be. I look at this now as this is what it's about. What I mean, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I had to go away for a long time to get an understanding of what life is about, man, and how I can contribute to making life better, man. So this is what it is, man. No, that game is over, but this game continues. I hear you loud and clear. Clay Bombay, last time I saw you, Big Bub, Big Crow Funeral. Good seeing you. Hey, bro, it was a good one, huh? Man, I don't even tell half the stories, man, about individuals that I hung with or hung with me that, we came up in the streets together, man. Crow was younger than me, man. But me and Crow, we took a liking to each other, man, like it was nothing, like boom. When he got with his son's mom, man, I was a part of it. I was there, and we used to hang down in the 50s like it was nobody business, man. All the homegirls. Matter of fact, let me send a shout out to T-Baby, man. You know what I'm saying? Hoover Kim, man. Smokey. You know what I mean? The homegirls, man. And if I forgot some of y'all, don't trip, man. Y'all know who y'all are. We hung out like we was brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? But we got history, man. Me and Crow. I was just with his brother Dreamer, man, Big Bug, man. And we chopped it up about Crow today, man. We miss him. We miss him, man. We miss him a whole lot. And that was a level-headed brother. Damn fool when he wanted to be. But that brother, man, was a level-headed brother, man. That brother was about his business. He was a real dude, man. Some of y'all need to go back, man, and look at some of the, previous podcasts, and we talk about Crow and what he did, not just for our community, but for brothers in general. The brother was a real solid dude, man. He loved his people. He loved his people, man. He's sorely missed, man. I mean that shit. He's sorely missed. Sorely missed, man. But we got brothers that's coming up behind him that loved him as well, man, respected him even more than me, man. And my hope is that them brothers, man, pick up the reins, man, ride that horse to the ground, man. Don't be Crow. You can't be Crow, but be, an example of what Crow was about, man. Your way. Do it right. Do it right, man, because, your presence, your understanding, knowledge, just get down is needed, especially in our community, man, especially in our community. Yeah, we miss Big Crow, man. Real spit. James Cass said, Big Bub, love and respect from the CPT1. Hey, man, like I said, man, I don't even talk about half the shit I done been through or half the brothers I know from all over, man. I know, man, I got brothers. I'm not talking about homies. I got brothers, man, all through Compton. I love them, man. I respect them, and we was on solid shit, man. I ain't forgot them, man. And just right quick, and I don't mean to do this, man, just single nobody out, but this was my guy, man. I don't know where he is. I don't know what's going on with him, but this was Lebo, man. Lebo, Southside. That was my fucking dude, man. If you see this, man, you still with us, man. I love you. I respect you to this day. I ain't forgotten none of our history, none of our experiences, homie. You always was a solid dude around me, homie. And I stayed the same way with you, bro. Lebo just One dude. Like I said, I know a whole lot of Comptons. I know a whole lot of Comptons, man. Talking about bros. Fuck that homie shit. Bros. Ready to go to war together. Stand on square right together. Straight up, man. So hey, James Katz, I appreciate that, man. Hey, Hawkeye. Hawkeye, where you at, man? Where you at, man? You know what I'm talking about. From Compton. Byron Henderson. Now, shout out Big Woodrow, also known as Mike Tyson. For real, for real. All right, shout out to Big Woodrow. He talking about Woody. He like a motherfucker. I saw Woody in the pool the other day. Someone tried to beat the heat. It ain't even that hot down there yet, man. Y'all up in the pool and shit, That leisure like a motherfucker. I swear I saw that shit. I said, damn. Instead of doing our patio the way we did it, I thought about saying we should have put a pool in our backyard. We hooked our patio up, but our backyard. But I swear I wanted a pool. I wanted a swimming pool. We could have put a pool back there, But the patio, the way we laid it out, man, it served our family and our loved ones, man. So whenever we have gatherings and shit, we got space, man. People come enjoy themselves, man, kicking in the gazebo, chairs, under the patio, whatever, man. It's a good fit, man. So I think I did the right thing, man. But that pool, Woody, I saw you in, that shit did look refreshing, man. It did look good, man. It did look good. All right. S says there's a game suite coming because of the Olympics, like they did for 1984, ICE and the National. But see, you ain't lying, S. And I've been trying to say this for the last 4 or 5 months. Y'all got to understand how these people work. There's no way on any one of you guys, green earth, that they're going to allow certain elements of society to be around when 2028 comes and the Olympics is going to be in Los Angeles. They're not going to allow without a sweep first. And that sweep is going to, I'm telling you, the numbers almost will be astronomical. The numbers will be way grander or bigger than the numbers previous or anything before it. 84 Olympics ain't going to match. Probably be 3-4 times that amount. They're bringing people, they're hosting people from all over the world. And they're saying, man, they're talking about 50 to 100 million visitors. Come on, man. Y'all don't think they're not playing, man. Now, instead of allowing them to just come get us, because, we see a lick, this tourist might have a few $100s on them, what the case may be. Man, get your LLC, man. Set up your business license, man. We're talking about that, and we're talking about money now. What 10 billion? Probably more than that, just to be made. Imagine a piece of that pie, a 10 billion. You got to stand, you selling whatever you selling. And it's legit. It's legit. You're walking away with a meal ticket or better. Don't just leave it for other races to go get that money, man. You dudes got business savvy, man. There's nothing dumb about brothers and sisters, man. Fuck what they're talking about, man. We're not dumb. We know how to get it. We get it, man. We get it how we live how we get it in some instances. But it don't have to be that, man. It don't have to be that. Don't fall under that banner, that umbrella, man. Legitimize your get down, man. Where you get that money, you ain't got to worry about, Johnny Law coming up behind you talking about put your hands up or just shooting you because you fit the description of a jack 30 minutes, earlier. Get your shit together, man. LLCs, business licenses, shit, man. Sell products. We're talking about capitalism, man. Get involved because that's the system. Even when they lock your ass up, that's a part of capitalism. But you get nothing from that. You know what I mean? You get nothing from that, bro. You go to prison, man, for 20, 30 years or whatever, you'll be making 16, 17, 18 cents an hour, 34 cents, an hour, but they're making hundreds of thousands on you. annually. And if you're on the streets, man, when this get down, go down, not just the Olympics, but the World Cup. Put your bid in, man. Put your bid in. You'll make more in a matter of months than what they'll make on you being in prison in a year. Think about it. Think about it. Young dudes got hustle, man. Y'all got game. Y'all got understanding, man. Understand the game so you can play it, man, and win. Can't take nothing from you then, you know? As long as you pay your taxes. As long as you pay your taxes. Hey, man. Yeah, they're doing it now. They sweeping down, homie. They're coming down. You know, they're not going to wait for nobody. What up, Woody? I see you, bro. I was just telling him how I saw you sent me the picture the other day, you in the pool. That was leisure like a big dog, man. You cooling out, man, in the water. In the water. Taking the load off. I swear I thought about it. Being one of them little flotation things in the middle of the pool with the little thing on the top so the sun can't fry you too much. You want a little of that sunlight. You need that vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Good for the melanin. You know, I thought about it, man, sitting in one of them things, man, with a drink on the side, just chilling. Think about my next move, my next groove, you know. Look good, man. Do your thing, Woody. Matter of fact, just hollering at your sister, man. Shout out to Nikki, man. Much love, Nikki. I appreciate our conversation tonight, man. I appreciate our conversation tonight. I really do. I really do. We need more of that. We need more sisters to step up and speak to, you know, truth, speak truth to power, man. Speak truth to power. You know, that's needed, man. Black says mature grown man talk like this is always needed. The foolishness has taken over. Yeah, to some extent. To some extent. In terms of percentages, yeah, the foolishness is winning. Let's be honest. Let's just be solid about that. But bro, there are a whole lot of us, man, ain't with the foolishness. There are a whole lot of us. I think that though, for a whole lot of us that's not with the foolishness, we on our job. We on our square. We're doing what we're supposed to do. But we're not communicating. We're not talking to those who need to be spoken to. I think that's the problem, bro. You know, that will build the numbers. That would augment us from the lower percentage to the higher percentage. Once we start talking about what's really at stake, once we start speaking truth to power, man, we surpass the foolishness, homie. That's what's needed. A lot of brothers, I want to say, man, yeah, man, look, I know what community I'm from. All right. But don't let that be the reason why you can't go to your community and speak truth to power, homie. Because it's coming from me. Don't kill the messenger, homie. Don't worry about who the message is coming from, especially if it's positive. Just take the message, man, and disseminate it to the people, man. Your community. All right? Where I'm from shouldn't matter to you. This is where I'm from, homie. Where you're from shouldn't matter to me. That's where you from. I don't got an issue with that. It's your business. And especially, it's your business, especially if you're pushing positivity, man. For those coming up behind you and those that's right on the same plane with you, man. We got to start sharing this information, man. We got to start communicating to get to the right solutions, man, that'll help each and every community and then us as a whole. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I've ever been saying, man. Someone said to me today, said, Bub, you came out of yourself last week behind that rap news and hood politics segment. I said, yeah, I did. I know I did. I was infuriated. I was, not necessarily upset, but it rubbed me the wrong way. It rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, after I discussed it and said what I said about it, man, I sat back a day or two later and I thought about it. I said, gotta be the police. Gotta be the police. Y'all gotta start thinking, man, looking at shit, man. For those who are on the right square, we gotta stop subscribing to those narratives, man, that just not doing us any good, man. Real spit, man. So yeah, I came out myself, man. I'm back, man. I'm, I'm not with the bullshit. And for those that know, I'm not with the bullshit. You know what I mean? And I want to stay on this plane right here, man. I'm gonna move around, but I'm gonna move around, man, in a positive fashion, in a positive manner. You know, um, if whoever that is a real brother, real live brother, not people, man. I don't mean to disrespect you, but I mean to tell you, man, hey, man, you're hurting us. I don't mean just Hoover. You hurting whoever you disseminate this information to in a negative fashion because it's negative. No matter what you think or say about it, it creates this precedent, man, of violence, man. It puts in the minds of individuals, some who are not capable of really understanding how to go about dealing with life on a daily basis, to act in such a way, man, to where not only is their life forfeited, but they might forfeit the life of another individual just on the content you putting out there, bro. If you're a brother, man, and that go for brothers, period. If that's what y'all doing, man, y'all come on, man, y'all disservice, man. And I say it again, man, not just to the communities at large, but to your own family. To your own family. And it's gonna come to pass, if that's the case, you're gonna suffer that shit, man. You're gonna suffer as a result of that shit in your own family. Start thinking about that shit, man. Donald Matthews says, we've always been their labor force, bro. But, yeah. Me and Joe was talking. Joe had said to me last week that they went and got the African and brought the African over to North America because of the color of their skin. So, say, one for a workforce, true enough. But the other was, okay, if they tried to escape, they couldn't go far because one, they weren't from the land, and two, they was so readily identified because they were black. And this is G Homie, man. I respect him, man. This is the founder of Hoover. I had a thought and I didn't speak on it. I didn't address it at that time, you know what I'm saying? Because this was founder speaking, and I thought better of, contradicting or saying anything that was contradictory to what he was saying. But the point of the matter is, blacks had already been here, bro. They'd already been here before the transatlantic slave trade, bro. 15th century, 14th century. We were already here. Artifacts are here as a result of us being here before all that. Before, the Mayflower, Spain, Portugal, any of them. We were already here, bro. We were here before the so-called natives. We were here, you know what I mean? So we knew the topography, the landscape, we knew how to map the stars. When they were escaping as slaves, they knew how to get the fuck home. Harriet Tubman showed them that. But she knew it because she learned it from somebody else. Brothers and sisters knew how to get away. Damn, because I was black. So what? I'm getting the hell up out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that, man. Yeah, we were a workforce. We were the labor force. We built this country, like I said, man, earlier, from our sweat, our blood, our exhaustion. We did this. America the United States of America could not exist, would not exist if it were not for us. Damn what they tell you. Damn what they tell you. And I mean that, man, not just in the agricultural sense to help prop them up, in terms of capital and money to make them the great country or superpower they are. But man, just in terms of technology, medicine, whatever, education, we were the one. It's all us. And this is what we have to acknowledge, people. This is us. It's our shit. We just been made to believe it's not. You know, we just been made to believe it's not. Like I said, man, the Moors, and when you talk about Moors, they were black men. They were here way before the European knew how to sail a ship across the Atlantic from Europe to the Americas. Come on, man. We were already here. You know, we fell into a situation, man. You know, the first Continental Congress, man, the first Continental Congress here in the United States consisted, congressmen and senators were blacks. Half of them were blacks. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Research it. You know, so we didn't come here as slaves per se, man. That's not the reality. It's not the reality, man. You know, somehow, some way though, the game got twisted. You know, the narrative changed, and here we, you know, there we were. All of a sudden, we were these people, man, in bondage. You know, so now the fact of the matter is that we were a labor force, a workforce for these people. We did help build. We built. It's because of us on our backs. This shit is the way it is. They're the superpower they are because of us, man. Well, and what we're gonna do about that? How do we rectify that, or how do we have that? How does that serve us? You know, where's our reparations? You know, something to think about. I think that's a discussion, man, needed to be had. That's a discussion needs to be had. Real spit, man. All right. So yeah, it is what it is, man. All right, so you know. All right, James Cass, I ain't gonna repeat that, but I hear you, bro. I'm the same way. I'm the same way because in their mind, and you know what I'm saying, they think they superior to us too. You know, it ain't just the white tea people, them too. They think they superior to us, not even knowing the history, the contributions to their country. You know, when you talk about their independence, it would have never happened if it wasn't for real spit. Do the research, man. Do the research. When Spain and France was pushing on them, had them. We the ones came to their rescue. Freedom, got them liberty, independence. Do the research, man. You know, when they talk about their independence, they're quick to extract or keep from, you know, the record, their history, our contribution to their freedom. That's just a fact, bro. Big Chip, love you too, bro. Here I am again, homie. Here I am again, homie. You know, how you been, man? Put something in the comments, man. Profound, man. Let's talk about it, bro. I know you, man, and you know me. I grew up, man, with you, bro. Y'all raised me. All love and respect, homie. All love and respect. Mean that shit. Al Thomas says doing agricultural work is much better than standing and sitting on the corner. Hey, let me finish this. As long as a livable wage is paid, I don't see anything wrong with it personally. LA is already basically little Mexico. All right. Truth to power. Yeah. The way you put it, yeah. Getting a wage is better than hanging out on the corner, looking at cars pass by, who the enemy, who this, who the opposites are coming through there, not doing nothing, not paying no bills, not, you know, trying to elevate your family or your structure or whatever. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. In that respect, I do. I do. I was just speaking for me and mine. When it comes to something like that, you know, now, yeah, we working for Gilmore regardless. Let's get that straight. Yeah, we work for Gilmore regardless, whether it's in the field or in the warehouse or wherever it may be. We work for Gilmore. I was just saying that's too much like picking cotton, you know. And I said, me and mine, we had the discussion, ain't something we gonna do, you know. But truth to power, better than standing on the corner, bro, and getting nothing, doing nothing, having nothing. So I get it. I get it. I get it. But the last part of what you say, your sentence, LA is already basically Little Mexico. You know, again, like I said, man, um, that agenda, their agenda is about to change that. It's gonna change that, bro. And I'm telling you, it's on a greater scale than even they know, the Mexicans. They come, that's just step one. Think about it. That's step one. Ain't nowhere in the world YT people gonna go at something like that, man, and just okay, we're gonna remove you illegal. They coming to get, okay, all your illegals that made something legal on our get ham, come get that too. I think there are many phases in this get out, man, that we're seeing, that we're beginning to see put in motion in LA. That's just step one. Gathering up individuals and then deporting them. That's just step one, homie. You know, trust me, that it's more to it. It's more to it. You know, got to see the forest for the trees, as they say. Got to see the forest for the trees. Who Snipe? What's happening, homie? Who's Snipe said, I couldn't tell you been out the loop for so long. I'm OT. Yeah, homie. I was supposed to go down Thursday, man, and I went and hung out with the loved ones, man, you know, to commemorate and remember, you know, Tiny Bird, man. Like I say, rest in peace, Tiny Bird, man. Our condolences to him, to his family, man. We hung out, man, with the loved ones, man. And I have to say, I recall somebody dropping something on one of these platforms. They said, you know, that 7-4 was dead. You know, they said 7-4 was dead. And but from what I seen, that was a narrative, homie. That was a lie. You know, the homies are alive and well, you know. And being as such, man, I was able to sit down with a few of them, man, and talk about the positivity of the community. What's positive? What can we bring that's positive to the community, man? You know, how can we grow, man, financially? How can we grow morally, you know, socially, you know what I'm saying, politically, you know, that type of thing, man. Nah, nah. Alive and well, alive and well, you know. Yeah, I've been out of the loop, like I said, man, because I've been doing other things, man, you know, and that was one of them just, you know, from the other day, man. I was supposed to come in Thursday, but I had such a good time with the loved ones that I say, man, I told the wife, I said, baby, I don't think it'd be a good look for me to go in there in my condition. You know what I mean? That's how much fun, you know, I had. That's how much I enjoyed being around the babies and the creams, you know, and the OGs, man, and the home queens. And, you know, that's what that was, man. So, but here I am, all right? Here I am. Chip say, Big Chip 7-4 say they want that dry land back. That's why they're building all this That's why they're building all that entertainment around Los Angeles. Come on, homie. Their thing is about production. You know, they produce shit for currency. They produce shit, man, for revenue. They produce shit because of capitalism. You know, they produce shit for consumers, for people to consume, you know, especially entertainment, not just products. But one of the biggest sellers in terms of capitalism, especially in the United States, is entertainment. It is entertainment, bro. You know, don't get me wrong. Consumerism is on a huge scale. But man, when y'all look at how these media corporations, the money they make, you know, not only the money they make, but the shit they put, the narratives they put out there and how those narratives affect us and how it affects us in such a way we spend even more money on other shit, on products. We consume. You're right. That's what they do. They want the shit. You look around, man. Like I said, all the old homes and old businesses that, in our community. But I'm pretty sure others from other communities can speak on what used to be on that corner right over there or directly across the street. You know what I mean? That are no longer there. And they remember those establishments as being Black owned or just a mainstay, just damn near historical site for that community. Those places are no longer there, man. They're coming, they're grabbing this shit, man. And I heard a term today. It's no longer gentrification. There's another term they use in terms of coming back to get, to retake some shit. It's not gentrification. It's another term, and hopefully it come back to me. And if it does, I'll repeat it here on the Get Down tonight. But yeah, you're right, Chip. They want the land, man. Now you got to look at it like this. If that's what they want the land, and the people on the land. What are they going to do about the people on the land? Where they going? Where have they established or designated this location or spot for them to go to? Where is that? Lancaster, Palmdale, what is there another spot? California City? Where are we going next? Where are we headed next, man? We got to start thinking, man. And Blacks say, yep, social media is a gift, but been a curse for us. That's a fact, bro. I don't see any good coming out of social media for the Black folk, man. Thomas also said, electrical, telecommunication, warehouse. Often wonder if our people are even concerned. I've worked in building in downtown LA and more than once. I've been the only Black man on the site. All right. So where I work with cranes and shit, overhead cranes, forklifts and shit. But we deal with marble, quartzite, granite, porcelain, heavy ass material, shit come out of mountains, slabs or bundles, a slab can weigh anywhere from 500 to 700 pounds per piece. When you put them together, 10 to 13 pieces, we're talking about thousands of pounds, tons, I'm the only brother there. I'm the only brother there. There was another brother there a couple of weeks ago. They fired his ass. On some bullshit that you see every day, man. But I'm the only brother there, man. And I imagine, or I think that I'm still on there because I kind of half-ass know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as I dummy up and don't know some shit, I can expect that they'll try to get rid of my ass too and fill it, my spot with Jose or somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's just, that's the reality. That's the reality, bro. Only brother there. We load flatbeds and shit, with bundles. Like I say, man, a flatbed to come in and we'll put, anywhere from 2 to 6 bundles on this flatbed, and like I say, each bundle can weigh, look at it like this, 4,000 to 5,000 pounds, so if you got 6 of them, all right, we it could be up to 40 some thousand pounds, 50,000, but even the driver, I say that to say, even the drivers of the flatbeds coming. I used to see brothers pull up on these flatbeds, to make these deliveries, pick it up and deliver wherever they're going, Texas, New York, Miami, whatever. Very few brothers now. Very few brothers. You know what I mean? So, I got a call right now. Let me see what's going on. This DuBoy, man, from 107. Hold on. DuBoy, what it do, bro? What it do?
What that over like,
man? H is on me, the future.
I was following the home China man shit, right?
Yeah, hold on. Before you get in that, I need to let you know right now. I'm going live. I'm on live right now. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm on live right now. I'm doing the get down right now. So if you want to hold that thought, you can.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to sit down and talk to me 5 to 10 minutes on the live, you're more than welcome. You know, but let's keep in mind, we're gonna keep it how we always keep it, love and respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So what you think? You want to sit down and talk with us for a minute?
If it was something concerning, this dude named Wild Bang.
Okay, I tell you what, I'll hit you back. I'll hit you back in a few. Okay, let's have that discussion.
All right, H's on.
H is homie.
Yup.
Okay, yeah, that was the homie, man, from Salo, man. So listen, so yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Where I work, I'm the only brother there, man. The only brother there. And man, I'm telling you, I'm learning Spanish quick. Cause them motherfuckers get to talking and you don't know what the fuck they talking about or who they talking about. So I had to tell my supervisor, who's Spanish, who's Mexican. I say, man, I don't think it's wise for you to speak Spanish about the job, especially if it's concerning what we're doing right now, because it could be something, to be helpful to me. You know what I mean? It keep me from getting hurt or whatever the case may be. He looked, he thought about it. He said, okay, yeah, you're right. But guess what? Next day, so I got to say it again. Next day, got to say it again. Next day, got to say it again. It's intentional, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm the only brother there, man. I'm the only brother there, man. And I be damned, I let motherfucker look at him, man. Pay good. You ain't finna run me out that situation, man. So hell with it. Sean Sessions said, that's why we got to talk to our little homies about joining the union or construction and electrician. Yeah, but that might be so. But who run the unions now? Who run the unions? I hear stories all the time about brothers having to wait, extra long periods of time just to get in union, because other people run a union and they pretty much handpicking. I don't know how that system go because I'm not in a union. But brother say, man, that's a hard role too. Most of those that's running the union are, in control of Mexican. And you got to say, you have to admit that for the most part, man, they do what they do, to keep theirs there. If opening a vacancy is there, they fill it with one of theirs. If there's someone getting a union, I don't know how that should go. Like I said, who you think if between the brother and the Mexican, who gonna get in the union first? I'm not against saying, hey, brothers, get in the union because you got some protection, you got little security on your job security. But let's be real, man. Let's look at the reality of the whole workforce and everything that it involves, man. We're out of the loop. We are out of the loop, and really, it's our fault. It's no one else's fault, man. It's no one else's fault, man. Black said COINTELPRO, COINTELPRO is alive and well on social media. And if y'all ain't figured that out by now, you're in for a rude awakening. I was just talking to homies again today about that. And I said, man, I keep how I speak, a certain way for a reason. It's a reason why I don't get in the messy shit. And I don't talk about shit that's not supposed to be discussed. One thing about Hoover, and you got to tip your hat. We have to tip our hat to our community. We don't talk about shit we ain't supposed to, for the most part. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. So even when I have certain individuals, homeboys, loved ones coming to get out, before we even come on, y'all see us, we talk. Hey man, this is unacceptable. 1, 2, and 3, A, B, and C. We're here to talk about how we grew up as children. We're gonna stop at an age. where, you know what I mean, anything after that, we're not incriminating ourselves about whatever. And shut the hell up. Shut up. You know, we can talk about, okay, junior high school, and then we're going to cut it off there. Camp, junior, in some instances, prison, okay, but that's it. But we're not talking about shit, man, to where these people say it again. What's that? COINTELPRO, excuse me, can fuck, come around and fuck with us about some shit 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, So like I said, man, I love the fact, I appreciate that most of the loved ones won't come, and it makes sense. These people got tricks, they got games, you know what I mean? There are ways they can twist and turn shit. We understand that, Right now, I'm just talking about, it's political in a sense, but I'm talking about employment. I'm talking about how we can survive as a people. And if they figure out a way to twist that, they will. COINTELPRO will figure out a way, that's just to get out. But like I said, I'm mindful of a lot of shit, man. Like I said, I was talking to a homie today. I said, yeah, homie, some shit last week about the last get down that rap news and hood politics. And it's police. It's police. And they yanked me. They yanked my chain. They did. And I had to, after the fact, I stepped back and said, damn, bastard. So, that never again, that won't happen again, So yeah, COINTELPRO are alive and well and in full effect, people. In full effect. How many more jail hood stories do we need on this internet? Really, we look, again, man, it's crazy. Here's the thing. The only reason why they exist or that they survive and they get the clickbait, the clicks, likes, subscriptions, is because y'all tapping into that shit. Y'all are tapping into that shit, man. Stop tapping into that shit. You see it's messy shit. You see that they sitting up, they creating these situations with brothers, because a lot of us, like I said, psychologically, mentally, we aren't developed enough to understand bullshit when we hear it, or the type of shit that get us caught up, man. So we go and react on some shit. We're reactionary. Stop tapping into that shit. Every day I look up, man, these cats, this dude, S. Wiggins, just put up some more shit. This shit is detrimental. It's detrimental. But as long as y'all keep clicking, liking, subscribing, and commenting, they're going to keep putting it out there, man. So we can't say, how much more, these jail or hood stories do we need on the internet. Let them put it on the internet. It's not going to matter if we don't click that shit. If we don't watch that shit, like that shit, subscribe to that shit, man. We have to start being more responsible for our actions, Now imagine we shut that shit down. What they got? What kind of content they going to come with now? Not only that, but the algorithm would change. YouTube would change its algorithm. They might not want to, but if they don't, they'll lose money too. Just imagine, man, we start clicking on that positivity where brothers is trying to lace brothers and sisters, man, about what's right, man, not just for themselves, but for their families and the community they come from. Shit change, man. And then we'll start to see less and less of the bullshit, man. It's a whole lot of bullshit, man. I every day I search for positive shit from dudes from other sectors. There's only a couple. I'm being 100, man. I'm being honest. There are only a couple, and I subscribe to them. Other than that, man, all these cats, man, getting just disservice, man, to the people. It's a disservice to the community. You know, and the first thing they tell you, hey, man, this is what motherfuckers want to see. Nah, man, then stop serving them. If your mama was a crackhead and you knew she's a crackhead and you selling dope, you gonna keep you know, are you gonna continue to feed your mama this shit? Are you gonna cut it off? You ain't gonna get it from me, moms. You ain't gonna talk to your homeboy, hey man, you know, and the other homie, you cut that shit off, man. Cut them off. Cut them off, man. Deprive them of it. And see the end result. But until then, man, shit, man, we distracted on bullshit, Black. You ain't never lied. King Groove 713. What's up, big bud? What's up, King Groove 713? Poke Mitchell podcast. I'm at work in Stockton on break. Got some time to listen to Bub and Under the Groove, man. Appreciate you, Poke. Poke Mitchell podcast, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm seeing you, man. You becoming a regular. We appreciate that. Yeah, Black. See, Black, we can go all day with this, man, on this sellout shit. That's what it is. It's sellout shit. Black said them cats, man, them cats chose YouTube coins over integrity and morals, willing to put anything on here for clicks. You know, and be that as it may. Again, man, I'm gonna be the first to say. I will be the first to say, speaking for me, I can't speak for nobody else. I was a part of that problem that exists now. See, all that we did created all that we are now, that we seeing and witnessing and dealing with now. We are the problem. So I'm one to say, man, I'm at fault. I'm at fault, man. I'm a part of the problem, man. And I'm trying my damnedest, man. I'm doing my due diligence, man, to try to change the situation or put back into the situation something more positive other than that negative shit I put into it, man. But yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. Dude, you know, our integrity and our morals. I subscribe to, you know, I had no integrity. I had no morals back then. You know what I mean? I mean, I had them, but I didn't exercise them. I didn't live by them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as a result of that, this is what we have now. I'm just one of many who subscribe to that shit, man. Sean Sessions says, start a man group and grab a few youngs and show them a different view of life. That's easier said than done. There's a lot involved in that. There's a lot involved in that, Sean. I'm telling you, real spit, man. See, we have to do again. See, the culture, it's done in concrete. The way it is now, the culture, how we see it now, what we see every day on the streets. Fuck just on YouTube. Just go out on the streets, you see the shit. Getting someone to change course from that aspect of the culture to another, you know, something different, you know, to move around in the culture to find something better, more positive, more constructive is easier said than done because there's a lot of factors that keep focused on the negative that they're on. Drugs is one of them. And a lot of these cats, you can't talk to them. You cannot talk to them, man, because drugs entice most of what they think and do, you know? So that in and of itself is a struggle. Just getting them to the point to listen, man, and you know, not be under the influences of drugs just to listen. You know, it's a whole lot going on, man. But I hear what you're saying. Kiara Coleman said us blacks need to push one thing: black. Black is beautiful. Unity in blacks. We need each other. I agree. I agree. We all agree. A lot of us agree to that. And again, we're all we have. We are all we have, people. There's just no one else, man, coming to save us. I'm telling you, they benefited on the fact that we're self-destructive. They benefit on that shit. There's no one coming to save us, man, from this shit. Period, point blank. That's a fact. That is a fact. King Groove 713. He said a filthy sexual assault on another man in the butt is completely a no-no in this culture, homie. Well, that's the way it should be. There's nowhere in the world, man, that the individual said they've done some shit to that, come on, man. You lose all credibility. You should. You should basically just come out and say, man, I'm part of the Rainbow Coalition. It is what it is. That's some rainbow shit. Now me, I'm, to each his own. But, to me, to advocate gangsterism, whatever, crippism, whatever, but meld that and blend that with homosexuality. See, that's what's wrong with us. And for one, I say, man, that's a no-no. There's nowhere in the world that should stand, man, that should be acceptable from no individual, period. To degrade a man something wrong with you, homie. Something wrong with you. You're projecting how you really are, if you ask me. No respect. Straight up. Part of that coalition. That's what you should be pushing. From where you from? Rainbow Coalition. Rainbow Coalition. From where you from? I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know, Black say, man, if nobody's bigger than the program, how cats from these sets letting this slide? Look, man, and all I've been saying, and I'm telling y'all, I mean this, man. There is no accountability. There's no accountability. Dudes say the shit they say, man, and I promise you, not only but 99% of them don't mean it. There is no accountability. And I've heard it said on this podcast, I ain't saying nothing to nobody. I ain't going to jail. Motherfucker tell on me. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So accountability, having people accountable for the action goes out the window, goes out the door. It don't exist. There's no accountability, homie. And yet people are quick to say no one's bigger than the program. What program are you talking about, man? What program are y'all talking about? I'd like to know. What program are y'all talking about, man? If the program y'all talking about, man, means what y'all saying and saying is what y'all meaning, where's accountability? Where are the ethics? What program are y'all talking about, man? Donald Matthews say most of our people are stuck with the slave master's mentality and don't think about the people. We will never truly progress, bub, until we're truly ready to unite as a people. Power, progress. Again, a lot of us, man, are in a state of arrested development mentally. But we got to see why we're here, how we got here, man. Again, this is not something we did on our own. This is something that was trained in us. This is something that we were conditioned to do and to how to be. But at the point where we understood that this was what was going on, then we become responsible or accountable for our own actions, man. We're not being responsible. We're not accountable, man. We have to stop blaming other people. We know what the issue is. We know what they did. They did a number on us. We know this. And just based on that fact, that's what we should be working from. We should be working from that fact right there. We know what was done to us. Let's correct it. Let's start dealing with that. Let's free our minds, man, of the slave mentality. We have to start taking responsibility, bro. If not, you're going to keep blaming. We're going to keep using, master did to master. Hey, man, 2025. Master sitting up laughing like these dumb motherfuckers still blaming us. We did what we did. We kicked back down and reaped the rewards, reaped the benefits of what we did to them decades ago, centuries ago. They ain't figured it out yet. We winning. We got to get out of that mindset. I agree with you, bro. We have to get out of the mindset. Kiara Coleman said, I'm tired of getting online seeing black people hurting each other. That shit is sad. But see, we have to start saying this, man, more and more. Not only do we have to start saying that in the comments, but we have to start saying this in the comments of those podcasts and platforms that putting that shit out there. Go in there and tell them shit. You know, I'd see comments do, oh man, that was fire. Oh, you the best podcaster of the hood politics and the gang shit I've ever seen. And man, it'd be some detrimental shit. It'd be some negative shit. And I'm like, man, who is this brother that said this, man? It's just, damn. Real shit, man. We tired of seeing it. We got to start saying it. Again, communication. We have to communicate that to those who putting that shit out there. And then unsubscribe first. Don't like it. Don't share it. Just go in the comment. I do that all the time. I go on all kind of people platforms. I ain't liking, subscribing, sharing shit. But I tell them, man, this is some bullshit. I tell them in a minute. I tell them under the banner, under the groove. I tell them under my government name. This is some bullshit. And here's why. That's what we have to start doing, man. Donald Matthews say HIP, Stacey Gilbert, and the young homie Bird, man. Real spit, man. Like I said, man, they're going to be missed, man. They're going to be missed. Al Thomas said, I'm partial, bub. Less of the illegals equal more opportunities for black people. Every warehouse that I go to is packed with Hispanics front to back. I silently cheer when I see a black person. Me and you both, bro. Every day I go to work, man, because I know there are openings at the job I'm at, man. Because, you know, the shit I do is dangerous work. You know, that shit can fall on you. And if it fall on you, you're not walking away. Bad news going to beat you home. But every time I see a brother come in there, man, I'll be like, oh, brother. But he don't get the job. So most of the time I look, you know, brother coming in today, you're going to hire a brother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'd rather see more brothers. I would love to see more brothers, you know? I would love to see more brothers, man. You know, and again, then the shit is hard work. It's dangerous work. But then, you know, brothers, man, we do any fucking thing we want to do, man. We are capable. Be more brothers in this get down, man. You know? I remember when I first got to that job, man, it's this one cat there, man. It's a Hispanic cat. And I swear this dude, they've been at 5'5". And I swear he walk around like he's Popeye. Yeah. Yeah. Know everything. Can't tell him nothing. So, you know I'm an observing dude, man. I just peep game. You say, yeah, man, it's going to take you years to learn this shit, man. You know, it took me 2 years. It's going to take you years. I said, I know this shit, man, by the end of the year, man. What the fuck you talking about? You know, it's nothing to me, man. The fuck you talking about, man? In fact, I'm going to know more about this shit than you know. It took you 2 years. You know, and I meant that. Lo and behold, here I am. Dude can't tell me jack about that job. He can't name a slab, a pointed slab out to me, be it marble, quartzite, granite, porcelain, you know what I mean? Dolomite or whatever. And I don't know the name of that motherfucking slab, man, or where it comes from. He don't even talk to me no more. I don't talk to him. Then I lost my job, about beat his ass. You know? But I'm getting looks. Okay. I'm just saying, man, we are capable, man. But, you know, we got to get into the workforce, man. Or it's either that or figure out entrepreneurships, man, job businesses, man, for us to get into, man, to where we can elevate ourselves and our families, man, you know, make our own bread. You know, like I said, I work for a company that makes buku dollars. And I'm only getting a very, very, very small percentage of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, they pay, but I'd rather get that money than what they pay me to, deal with this, a situation, a project that can kill me if something go wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hoover Street. What's up, OG Bud? What's happening, Hoover Street? H is homie. Who should ask, Bub, do you have family members from other gangs? I believe we're more connected than most realize. But I've been saying this, Hoover Street. And I talk about this, man. Most that listen to me, man, they understand. My youngest, our youngest brother, we came from a family of six boys, no sisters. Our youngest brother was a blood, and he passed away. He was murdered. Just be more, exact. He was murdered in the streets, man, back in 2004. I had a cousin, first cousin. He was murdered in the streets. You know what I mean? He was from 40s. We got family, man, from everywhere, man. We're all connected, man. And the truth of the matter is, man, we ain't gotta be from no sector or set, no gang, man, to be connected, be related. I say this all the time, man. We know somebody that knows somebody, man, that knows somebody. Man, that connects us, bro. That connects us, Fuck where you from, man. We have to get to the point that, we realize, man, we're just connected regardless. Our melanin does that, man. Being black connects you, man. We from the same gang. Just different tribes. It's real shit, man. Malcolm Hearns 3 says, hey, baby, keep it up, Groove. Shouting out from East Orange, New Jersey. All right, homie. Appreciate that. I'm not a baby, though, homie. I came before the babies. You know what I mean? What you say, babe? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and you ain't even got to address me as OG Bub. I'm Bub, man. I'm from the community, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the community you from, man. You just over in East Orange, New Jersey, bro. I'm in LA. We bros, all right? All love and respect, homie. Donna Matthews said you're exactly where you're supposed to be, Bub. Proud of you, Groove. Hey, D-Bird, what's happening, man? Hey, bro, I appreciate you in the get down, bro. Damn, I appreciate that you're in the get down, bro. That means a lot. That means a lot, D-Bird. Real spit, bro. Donald Henderson said Crow was the glue. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Crow was the one, man. He wasn't just the glue, man. He was the rationale, man. He was, Crow was the one, man, that brought shit together, man, when others couldn't. Made it right when others couldn't, man. When shit was wrong, he made it right. Crow, man, like I said, man, I got a history of Crow, man. I have a history of Crow, and the homies know it. I miss the homie, man. We grew up together, man. You know what I'm saying? He was younger than me, but that dude, man, he acted like he was my age or older. It's kind of individual he was, man. He was a good dude, man. Crow was more than just the glue, bro. I'm telling you, Brian, he was more than just the glue. And then Brian Henson also said 1% of a billion is good for me. Do the math, man. Do the math. People, what is 1% of $1 billion? Do the math. Come on, man. 2028, man. They finna make buku dollars in Los Angeles. The World Cup and the Olympics. Man, they're saying they're going to make in excess over $50 billion in 2 weeks, maybe 3. Do the math, man. This will cover everything. This will do for you more than everything you've been doing your whole life, man, hustling. All it take, man, a few dollars, man, get your shit set up. Get it set up. You get that LLC and that light, the business license, say whatever. The police can't do nothing to you, can't touch you. Y'all go get set up, man. Get ready, man. Get ready. See, because the way shit looking by 2028, you know how you see Mexicans on the corner selling tacos and oranges and fruits and flowers and shit? You're not going to see that in the next year or so. They finna shut that shit down. They're going to shut that shit down. So you don't have to think about that of them come 2028. Who going to fill that void? See, that's a void we should be willing to fill. Fill that void, man. Get them dollars, man. Get them dollars. Arlington Chief Smoke, man, Miami, Florida. I see your comment, bro. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it because you put it there. For our people can move better than the military, then who is truly in control? Yeah, give them something to think about. Give them something to think about. Real shit. Real shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Captain Ron Hendricks said, facts, big bro. They definitely look out for their own. That's something we don't do for our people in the workplace. That's true. That's true. You know? Me, when I'm in work, I love to have a brother. I mean, I'm you shit go bad. I'm a handle my business, but still, it's always good, man. See one of your own, man, in that environment, you know, in your surroundings, man. Not just because, you know, shit go bad, you want some backup or whatever, but just because, man, that's when break time come, lunch time come, you know, chop it up with an individual and, you know, somebody you can relate with, you know what I mean? That's not to say you can't stop at break time and try to talk to another race and talk some serious shit, you know what I'm saying, on whatever level, but it's different, man, when you got your own people, man. It's different. It's different, man. That's a fact. I'm gonna say this, Hoover Snipe. He said, I witnessed an MF tell some story, and them boys, went over there, and he ain't said nothing about that though. We know who you talking about. All right, we know who you talking about. See, that's why I say though. See, that's how shit work. You be 1 minute, you this mug, you this dude, you bigger than life. The reality steps in and shocks your ass right back into the present, you know. And for those of us who paying attention, oh, you wasn't even a regular motherfucker. You just dude trying to get clicks and clickbait. You just talking shit. You know, you say you an active cat. I'm just saying. I told somebody that today. There's nowhere in the world. And I'm speaking hypothetically, people. No, well, let me just speak truth, man. When I was active, I was active. Period, point blank. You know, and I'm not saying that to propagate or instigate nothing. I'm just talking about what people say, you know, and half the time, this is what we telling y'all people. Most shit people say on these platforms, they don't mean that shit. They don't mean that shit, man. They just saying that shit because it's clickbait. They're getting them hits, them likes, them subscriptions. But yeah, that went down, and look at you. Know who you talking about, Snipe. We know exactly who you talking about. Where Baby Max ass at? So July 4th said it's the society we come from, Unc. It's probably Baby Mac ass. All we can do is learn and grow and teach. They way of the world is so fucked up, man. Shaking my head. Yeah, man, but Again, like I say, man, once we know, there's a saying that say, once you know better, you do better. You're supposed to do better. We know they way. We know, don't nobody know they way better than us. We know they way better than they do. We ain't doing no better though, man. And that's what's messed up about this, bro. That's what's messed up about this. Door number 2 says a plus and a minus with all the jail stories. After doing 20 years in Texas prison, I'm enlightening others that you can, I'm enlightening others that you can succeed after riding from the weeds and mud. The clowns just water it down. Yeah, they water down them weeds, man, keep them weeds growing. But see, being the fact that you done 20 years, yeah, you know better. Yeah. You're a voice, man, that can speak to cats, man, in such a way to where they ain't got to go through what you went through, And I think that's part of my purpose, man. It's part of my, man, look, man, I'm so fortunate to still be here, man. Coming from where I come from, man, the mindset I had, everything I was about, I swear, man, I struggle with myself every day, man, on bullshit, especially coming from people I know ain't built like they be trying to be like, yeah, man. We have a story to tell, man, but it's not just a story, but we have wisdom to pass on, homie. I think that's why I'm still here, man, just to speak to, what's positive, man, about what can be, and how we can, ascend, man, or attain those things, man, that mean most to us, man, family, our community, man, and just living life in such a way, man, to where, we're not being attacked or we don't have to worry about or think about, some shit, man, that don't matter to us because we're living our best lives. You get what I'm saying? Man, real spit, man. All right, y'all, I got a couple of more, man. I got to get ready to shut this thing down, man. Official 7 said to change behavior, mentality must be addressed first. Drugs, habits, and antisocial behavior are byproducts, not the main problem that needs to be addressed. Foundation is void. Cause self-concept, MIA. I'm going to read that again. Official 7. To change behavior, mentality must be addressed first. Drugs, habits, and antisocial behavior are byproducts, not the main problem that needs to be addressed. Foundation is void. Cause self-concept, MIA. Self-concept, MIA. Missing in action. Self-concept is missing in action. Your self-concept is missing in action. This is why we have drugs and certain behaviors and habits, antisocial behavior and shit like that, man. They're byproducts, but they're the problems mainly or basically because we have no self-concept. That's missing. I get it. July 4th said it's for sure the drugs mixed with social media. These kids want to be whatever the drugs and music tell them they are. It's like they're oblivious to reality, no matter what's in front of them. Yeah. And yet, damn, when I talk to them, and again, I was just recently with the Bays, man, the young Crims. These dudes ain't no fucking dummies, man. But yeah, the drugs. The drugs alter perception, man. It alters their perception. It prevents them from being self-conscious. They have no self-concept. The drugs wipe that shit away. It's missing. They're not thinking properly or appropriately. You know what I mean? And couple that with social media and what they putting out there. That's a cold mixer, man. Cocktail. That's a cold cocktail. But like I say, these young dudes, they not no dummies, man. It's yeah, I, I'd rather have them explain it than me trying to explain the situation or circumstance that they're going through that I'm not. You know what I mean? I talked to some the other day, like I said, man, and man, it's a whole lot. You know, it's a whole lot, and we have to attribute or we have to concede that social media is a powerful thing, man. It's a powerful thing. It's powerful, homie. I'm telling you, man. When they came up, I took communications in college, and it basically dealt with media and movies and how that shit, you know, I changed minds and shit. How it had people think. And then couple that with commercials when they became a thing, a part of the silent movies and then movies with voices, commercials and telling people what to think, what to buy, what to do, how to see. Hey man, the shit has evolved over time. It's some powerful shit. It's some powerful shit, man. I think that's what they're dealing with, man. They're dealing with some powerful shit that they don't know how to deal with, man. These is kids, man. Whose psychological, whose mental development is not mature. It's not, man. You know, the Supreme Court passed some shit, man, some years back where they said, man, we come to understand scientifically that most people don't even reach the stage of maturity until after 25 years of age. We're dealing with a lot of kids, man, who don't have the capacity to deal with a lot of shit that's put in front of them, do not know how to interact with the shit or how to, shift through the bullshit to get to the real. It's just some deep shit, man. It's a cold game being played against us, man. But again, at some point we got to say, okay, man, hey, we got to do what we got to do. West Cody, man, rest in peace to the G homie Vic, 9 Deuce HCG, man. Rest in peace, Vic. Real spit, man. That's another one lost, man. Look, man, we got to get together, man. Time ain't promised to nobody, man. Ain't no telling when that time can come for any of us. And it don't necessarily have to be something violent or something done to you from somebody look just like you. It could just be health or just the way the cards are dealt, fate. But take into consideration, man, that life is not promised, man. It's not just a given. It's not just a given, man. It's a lot to this shit, man, and a lot we don't understand and can control. So while we live in our life, man, let's try to live the best life we can live, man. We're wasting a whole lot of life on BS. And like I said, I'll be the first to admit it. I did. I wasted my whole life. My whole life, man. I'm 9 years old, technically speaking, as an adult. As an adult, man, in society, on the streets. It's not, man. It's not promised to us, man. We can't take it for granted because we don't know when that number coming, when that time comes. While we're here, man, we need to be doing the most, man, to uplift ourselves and those we love most, man, our people, our family, those around us. And I tell my baby all the time, I don't know when it's coming. I just know that when it come, man, when my time come, man, I wanted the last thing Muggs can say about me. I flipped the coin. I tried to make do or leave a better legacy. Be a better example. Be a better man. I know what I've done. I know I ain't. There's nothing I don't remember that I've done that was wrong, and none of it was good. But what I want to remember, what I want people to remember is what I'm doing, man, that's good for the people. Not just me, like I said, because I've lived, man, I've done it. I lived my life. Most of it in prison, man. Now, if there's anything good coming after this, man, while I'm living, I want to accept that and embrace it, man. Let me get that, man, before my time is up. But when my time comes, I want it to be known, man, that, hey, man, I acknowledge that everything I did, man, from then to the time I flipped, got it right, was bullshit. I want my legacy, man, to reflect that I saw it was bullshit, man. And I try to correct a lot of shit that I did wrong, or help those, to correct some shit before they do wrong. That's it. So again, man, rest in peace to the G homie Vic, man. 9 Deuce HCG, man. You will be missed and you were loved. Real spit, man. All right, people. Last one, and I got to cut it out, man. Official 7 play Bub. You're talking about poor effect dysregulation. Little homies aren't lost. They don't know what life, love, or loyalty promises. I'm reading it how it is, bro. They guess and take impulse, risky and uneducated steps to bondage. That's true, bro. That's true. I got OG Ajax calling me, man, but time is short, man. I would bring him in on the call, but I'm about to cut his show. Hey, look here, Official 7. I hope that you subscribe, man. I hope that you subscribe, you share, and you like this shit, because when we come back on here Tuesday and Thursday, people, Sunday is out because that's family time. But hey, man, Official 7, come in, man. Come into the comments, man. Because you're speaking truth to power, man, and people need to know what you're saying, man. It needs to be shared, bro. All right? It needs to be shared, bro. Which one? Which one? Show me. Because I'm at the end. Hoover Street said, Bub, you made amends, man. You can't never. That's until I go home. That's what I think. That's what I think. Amends is, we have to keep correcting ourselves, and then those around us, man, we make, we correct a lot of what we did wrong, man, and we continue to do that until the day we go, man. So I'm not through yet. When I'm done breathing, and hopefully what I said last, contributes to that, man. Okay, so L said, I'm gonna hit this right quick, man, before I go. L said, do you think that the Hoover's origins makes them have the most sense out of everybody? It seems like they were the only organization that had some common sense. Let me say this like this, man. Yeah, in the scope of things, man, right? Because I think that it was in its infant stages. They say Crippin started in 69, man. So Hoover come out in 72, that's 3 years later, man. And you could still say that Crippin was young in its infant stage. And the way Hoovers came out, man, they came out, man, like I say, man, like nobody's business, like game busters. They came out almost like with an agenda, being new to that shit, But they came out the way they did from individuals who had been exposed to shit before Hoover existed. So they had an understanding. So there could be some logic to what you say. Hoover's origins, man. Hoover origins, like I said, man, Joe will tell you in a minute. And all other OGs living that came up with Joe will tell you in a minute. This is what I was and what I was doing before Hoover. So, the origins of Hoover come from something else. They got the knowledge and the structure from something else, and they just happened to be able to build on it and make it into this juggernaut. And that's what it is, people. It's a juggernaut. It's nothing like Hoover, homie. And I don't mean to say that to put Hoover on a pedestal. We know what it is. Everybody know what it is, homie. I ain't got to do that. It speaks for itself, man. Even in its most negative sense, even in terms of how everybody got an issue with Hoover. It's a reason for that. But yeah, man, I think that Hoovers have some sense. Other sets have sense too. But who's gonna act on it? Hoover always been trendsetters. You know, and I can't say whether or not this podcast, this platform is going to set a trend. I came into the Get Down saying it would. I admit that. So we're going to change this shit. Social media. I said that. And for those of you who don't know, go back. Go all the way back a year and a half from now when I started this Get Down. And I said that in the episode after Hoover Joe. We're going to change this shit, man. We need to. We have to. You know? We make sense, man. But I think that we all would make a greater sense if we all just dealt with the shit how we supposed to, you know. His second comment, this is L. On the outside looking in, it seems like y'all was the only organization that realized everybody was playing games. Well, in terms of the Get Down, and I imagine, you mean Crippen or whatever the case may be, you could, like I say, Hoover set a precedent. And it was from that precedent, it became the model, the module that everybody followed. That's a fact. If we gonna do it like Hoover doing it. That's what it was. Even those sets that were already original or had been there or whatever, they even changed their script, man, to match the Get Down. Hoover didn't come into it playing games. And I got that from the horse's mouth. Not just his, but all the other horses around him that came with him. That whole Get Down, man. And that's what they said. We didn't come playing. We wasn't with no funnies, man. And at the same time, we came to protect our community, protect each other. The third one that L says or asks, his third comment is, are all the LA Mexicans backing the resistance that the immigrants have right now, OG? Now, like I said, I'm one that I don't speak on, when it comes to like other sets, I don't speak on other sets because I'm not from there. I'm not a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect, I don't mean that, to be funny or, sideways rude. I don't know what they're thinking, but what I do know is that most Mexican gangbangers, man, most of them are legal. Now, I don't know whether or not those of them are my age or not are, legitimate in business now or whatever, because I think that most of us progress. You don't have to be Mexican, black, or anything else to at some point progress and, do better for yourself, create, this lifestyle for you and your family. Whether or not they supporting the immigrants, I don't know. What I see it's like I see a lot of Gen X, if that's the terminology for them. A lot of Gen Xers out there, you know what I mean? And I see a lot of older folks, but most of them are politicians, they doing what they're supposed to do as a political, entity or individual. I can't speak on that, bro. I don't know, the truth to that or not. I don't know what it is, but we're watching. I've been watching since yesterday what's going on with them. And once they brought the feds in, man, the National Guard, shit done changed. They did that, that fire, that, what they call it, man. Yeah, that fire, that active, it ain't the same thing now. Now I'm playing with the big boys, and it's a different Get Down. So it remains to be seen how they deal with this, this issue, this circumstance, man. So L's last question is GD honor Hoover. GD honor Hoover and Bang 742. How ironic. Yeah, man, I got a family member, man, son-in-law out of Chicago, married to our daughter. He was a GD, man, so to speak, and he showed me his tattoos, 7-4, and I'd be fucking with him from time to time, like, motherfucker, that ain't 7-4 Hoover. He's on this 7-4, and this, I bullshit you not. This 7-4 in Chicago, this what he mean that shit. He get upset when I'm like, motherfucker, that ain't Hoover. That ain't 7-4 Hoover. But I'm telling you, bud, look, OG, this 7-4 Hoover, this 7-4, this Chicago shit, we the same thing. I said, nah, homie, that ain't 7-4 Hoover, But yeah, man, how ironic, right? And this is family, man. He family, you know what I mean? We got 4 beautiful grandbabies, through him, man. So, he family, man. What's up, Malcolm? But hey, man, listen, people. We in a situation, man, and like I say from time to time, and I mean this shit, man. No one is coming to save us, man. To enslave us, yeah, but not to save us. That's just fact, man. That's a fact, man. And they'll do anything to keep us from coming together. Anything. I'm a witness. Man, I feel man, I was a patsy to that shit. I was a patsy to that shit. I believe that shit. I believe that shit, man, to all the way to prison with a life sentence. You know, and I grew that course, man. I stayed on that line. I grew that shit. And get me nothing. So, only way we're gonna come up out of this, man, if we come up out of this together. Gotta save ourselves, man. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Now, on that note, man, you brothers have to take care of yourselves, man. And in order for you to take care of yourselves, man, and well, in order for you to take care of those you love most, you hold dear to you, you got to take care of yourself so that you can take care of them, man. You have to be here. You have to be here, man. You have to be here, man. Doing what's right, man. Not just for yourself, but those you say you love and support, man. On that note, man, power is in the people, man. I appreciate you brothers coming in, man. And I hope I got, to everybody, man. Again, man, if I didn't, man, come back next week. We gonna holler, man. And this is what we do. I love touching bases with the people, man. This is something, man, that I want to keep, going on for as long as possible. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Don't only like, share, and comment, but subscribe, man. Subscribe to the live Tuesdays and Thursdays, man. Power in the people, one love, people. Take care of each other, man. Take care of yourselves. Peace.